1, 0. Now. Yeah. Pretty good tag smashing for both runners. Mr. Shasta slightly ahead, but that's because he has a 2-second delay over Mickeynow, but I'm pretty sure that will be fixed momentarily. Mickeynow messing up the climb. This will further extend Mr. Shasta's lead as they go to their first navigation. I keep mentioning this, but these are two really good runners. So, what I want the chat to do now is, if you think Mr. Shasta is going to win, go ahead and type in a 1. And if you think Mickeynow is going to win, go ahead and type in a Mickeynow or 2. Mr. Shasta having some issues killing that first enemy of the game, the frog, allowing Mickeynow to catch up. As we unravel the events of what has happened in the BSL Space Laboratories. There is a yellow jello flying around. Adam says, there's always room for jello. Mickeynow taking no prisoners, getting through the main deck in a quick fashion. Mr. Shasta slightly behind, but as you all know, there's a particular door coming up. Could change the lead or extend the lead. It is up to you, the viewer. Type in between 1 and 4 in the chat, or a 0, to predict how many beams these runners are going to get. If you've guessed correctly, congratulations, you are a good guesser. Mr. Shasta picking up the missile tank right behind Mickeynow. Still keeping up with Mickeynow is Mr. Shasta, as he appears to be about 1 room behind. Make that 2. Here we go, boys and girls. Moment of truth. Mickeynow is the first to enter the Idol room. Let's count the beams off for him. That's a 1. And oh, when he misses the double there, that's a 2. That's a 3. Oh, and Mickeynow misses the double again, but he gets the 3 beam. And Mr. Shasta, 2 so far. Does not attempt the doubles, so Mr. Shasta's going to catch up slightly here with a 2 beam versus Mickey's 3. RNG Fest is not over yet, as Arachnus can roll on you. Just like what happened on Mickeynow's side, gets the insta-roll. Shasta also getting the insta-roll. Unfortunately for Shasta, he could have taken advantage of that poor RNG, but instead gets the poor RNG himself, and he misses the double. Mickeynow already picking up the morph ball here, and Mickeynow the winner of the RNG Fest. It's gonna pull ahead with the lead. Both runners now picking up the Morph Ball upgrade. They can turn into a ball and go into very tight spaces, which will allow them to access the main deck elevator that will get them into Sector 1. At this point, there could be a slight deviation. Whether or not Mickeynow chooses to get this main deck missile is completely up to him, and he decides to skip it. Mickeynow is very experienced, and he is a holder of the 46. Mr. Shasta, on the other hand, picking up the main deck missiles for some safety. As they both make their way through the main deck into Sector 1, we get a first close-up look at the main protagonist of the game, antagonist of the game, SA Extreme. Really cool contact lenses, by the way. All right. Both runners are now in Sector 1. As you all are aware, Sector 1 is a missile management sector where runners will have to maintain their missile count as to avoid having to farm for missiles for the Idor. In order for the runners to do this, they must maintain full health, as having full health guarantees that every enemy will drop a green X for them. Are they up to the challenge? Mickey's showing some really good platforming skills and gets the good RNG on that first stabilizer, not having to wait for it at all. Shasta taking a hit as he goes through the room with the floaty blobby things. Picks up that yellow X though, although he's going to be -2 here for missile count. But Mr. Shasta did pick up that main deck missile, so he is still actually looking really good for missile count. Mickeynow is now in the pirate shaft. Fortunately, he gets pretty good luck there too, avoiding any hits from the pirates. As Mr. Shasta makes his way to the same room, Mickey, second atmospheric stabilizer down. Mr. Shasta gets a fourth pirate on the wall there, taking a huge hit now at 162 health. Mr. Shasta still has pretty good ammo count, but gonna have to tighten up the movement here. Three stabilizers down for Mickeynow as he makes his way to the room with the eye door. Mickey did have some issues with double missile on the first eye door here. Let's see if that will persist into the second eye door that requires a double missile. Who knows what could happen? Shasta not too far behind. Mickey with a 1 beam. Oh, and he misses the double. 2 beams. 3 beams. Oh, and he misses the double. 4 beams. He gets a 4 beam. Mr. Shasta, 0, 0, 1 beam. Mr. Shasta catching up significantly with only a 1 beam versus Mickeynow's 4 beams. That's a 9-second advantage. Mr. Shasta looks like he got that first double missile He misses on the second one, so his jump off the platform confirms. Oh, he must have thought that he did, in fact, get the double when he did not. And now that core is smothering Samus. Are we going to see an early death here? No. Shasta's too good for this. Meanwhile, Mickeynow finishing up the 4th stabilizer. He's going to make his way over to the last one. Mr. Shasta picking up the charge beam. Still kind of not, sort of kind of far away because Mr. Shasta did only get a 1 beam versus Mickeynow's 4 beams. As we make our way into the final stabilizer of the game, Mickeynow, having some issues putting the missile in the hole. Finally destroying that atmospheric stabilizer, and both runners are going to high-five here in the door transition. You don't see it, but they did high-five through that tunnel, or hatch. Mr. Shasta showing us how to put the missile in the hole. All 3 missiles with 0 misses. As he finishes up the last stabilizer, both runners are now exiting Sector 1, going into Sector 2, aka the most dangerous sector in any percent for the most casual players of all. Can Mr. Shasta catch up? The upcoming boss is a extremely RNG intensive boss that could cost you anywhere between like 3 to 20 seconds. Trust me, I know this. Could definitely swing the momentum in Shasta's favor. But who knows? Both runners now into Sector 2. Like I said, it is a pretty dangerous sector. Zoros hit really hard. That is 45 damage per hit, and they are everywhere. There are a few Zoros that you have to do some fancy double missiling shots while running to kill them without moving. However, if you are not up to speed or up to par with the skills, you could run into them, and taking excessive damage from Zoros could cause death. That's right, that is a side effect of missing your missiles against these red caterpillars. Mickeynow in the first room with the 2 consecutive Zoros, and he gets that double. Easy peasy, says Mickeynow, and he gets the good RNG there against that Zoro on the wall. Mr. Shasta, making his way into the big room, takes a hit from the very first Zoro that he sees. Wisely chooses to missile that Zoro there on the ground because he was not holding a charge. Meanwhile, Mickeynow unlocking level 1 security doors. Shasta, another hit. And there's another high-five through the door transition that you don't see, but trust me, they are high-fiving in that shaft. Or door. Or hatch. Mickeynow with exceptional movement. 1 room away from picking up Bomb's upgrade. And Shasta now with the data room, get up the bombs upgrade as well. Mickeynow on his way to fight Zazby, the giant enemy monster that will grant you the high jump and spring ball abilities after you kill it and consume its core. X. Mickeynow with a very nice morph ball charge shot on that Zoro. Typically, when you try to do that shot, a part of the beam will actually clip the wall and not go through. But Mickey, showing some brilliant gameplay, manages to get that morph mid-air, mind you, which is actually pretty hard to do. Take a look on Mr. Shast's side. Oh, and he gets it too! Man, these guys are just swag-tastic today. Mickeynow at the eye door. That is a 1 beam, 2 beams. Mickey must be very frustrated so far with a 2 beams at the eye door. Whatever his count is, I'm sure it's really high. Here comes Zazabi on Mickeynow's side. That's a 1 jump. Looking pretty good so far for Mickey as Mr. Shasta picks up the safety E-Tank. That's a 2 jumps. 2 jumps so far for Mickeynow, looking like really good RNG. That's a 3 and a 4 and a 5. And a 5 jump for Mickeynow. Very good, very good RNG there for Mickeynow. Mr. Shasta getting 3 beams to the door. Can he get better than 5? Otherwise, Mickey will definitely extendo the Lido. That's 2 jumps so far for Mr. Shasta. And a 3, and he could even it up here with the minimum last phase. That's a 4 and a 5 and a 6 and a 7. Oh, and Mr. Shasta getting the worst RNG of the 2 runners with a 3 beam and a 7 jump. Zazabi, Mickeynow 1 room away from a pretty dangerous room if you decide to skip it. Will Mickeynow do the sack skip? Is it all or nothing for him? It is nothing for him, he says. Mickey showing some really good platforming skills there, scaling his way up the shaft of Sector 2. Mr. Shasta on his way to pay a friendly SAX a visit. Shasta taking it very nice and calm and slow in this sax not skip. Mickeynow at the navigation room, exiting Sector 2. Shasta not too far behind. He is actually kind of far behind. Hopefully, RNG will turn in Shasta's favors for the upcoming Idors and bosses. we have both runners now in Sector 4. There is talk of doing a certain strat against a certain slippery snake. I believe Mickeynow knows how to do it. But the question is, will he do it? Is he willing to risk it all? Mickeynow getting that pseudo screw attack on the ouch, followed by a missile on that crab, which is a very difficult thing to do, losing exactly 0 seconds. 9 times out of 10, the runner will get hit by one of those 2 enemies, but Mickey is the 1 out of 10. Fancy stuff here for Mickey as he approaches the eye door. Here comes more bad RNG. 1 beam for Mickeynow as Mr. Shasta makes his way, desperately trying to keep up with Mickeynow's incredible pace. Can he do it? Mickey, ooh, that kind of looked like a very questionable hit. Oh, and Shasta takes a dive, getting hit by that crab. Mickey getting unfortunate RNG for Saris. This is going to allow Mr. Shasta to catch up, but luckily Mickeynow does get the 2 shots Saris for the easy kills, and he gets that initial double. And the second double. Will he get the sweet spot here? It looks like he will, Mr. Shasta. It's gonna be rough for him. That's all I can say. As Mickeynow collects the speed booster, it makes you run fast and makes you glowy. Mr. Shasta having difficulty wall jumping, and he finally is able to wall jump to get up on top of that platform as Mr. Shasta experiences some bad RNG on his own. That is a 3 beam so far. Count him 1, 2, 3 beams. Picks up the red X and is now in the boss room where he will face off against Saris. Looking like the traditional strat here. Mr. Shasta getting that first hit, no problem at all. And the pattern looks good. He knows what he's doing. It's a 2-cycle. Slightly faster Saris fight here for Mr. Shasta against Mickeynow. However, Shasta did get a 3-beam Idor, whereas Mickey only got a 1. And don't forget that Shasta also fell through the combo blocks in one of the rooms earlier. So while he did get a faster Saris fight, he did not get a faster Sector 4 overall. Mickeynow attempting the low height, and he gets it easy every time, says Mickeynow. Or as they say in French, le low height est mon fantasme. Mickey on his way out of Sector 4, while meanwhile Mr. Shasta still needs to lower the water levels here so he can escape himself. Looking like a very solid run for Mickey so far. This looks like a run of the 46 variety. Shasta showing off the new and improved horizontal Shine Spark strats here. It was initially thought that you would have to do a diagonal Shine Spark through the speed booster blocks. As Mr. Shasta also gets the low height. It's not even a strat worth mentioning. It's too easy for these guys. Very fast gold crab spawn there for Shasta as he makes his way out. 3 more rooms left until he reaches the navigation room. Mickeynow already in Sector 3. Giving us a show of force as Mickey is about half a sector ahead of Mr. Shasta at this moment. Upcoming side Oh, look like all great for Oral.
Ross, we're gonna need you to hold the tin can a little bit closer to your mouth.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was actually testing the range of my mic. Mickeynow unlocking level 2 security doors as he makes his way over to the super missile upgrade. Mr. Shasta now entering sector 3, talking to Adam. Mickey getting that shine break or fancy shine sparks here. And someone did talk to me, so there is somebody else here. It is Crunchy Lex, famous co-commentator. And
yeah, not alone.
Next Gen Gamer 9 joining us.
Relatively not very famous co-commentary.
Still pretty famous.
We're just this announcer booth is just full of famous people right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're talking star-studded crew of famous people. Mickey with a very, very good box fight here. Basically perfect. Shasta on his way to meet and greet with Bob as Mickey makes his way out of Sector 3, completing his mission that Adam has tasked him.
He has a pretty exact missile count, too, just enough to deal with the 3 side hoppers and have enough left over for Sector 6.
Oh, and he gets an extra green missile there for a bonus.
He'll be able to deal with that barrier and still hold one in each hand. If he had 2 hands, Samus only has 1 hand and a gun.
Who did it better?
I mean,
Samus?
clearly Samus doesn't need 2 hands, as we've seen throughout this game.
She can pull herself up with 1 hand. I mean, how many people can claim that?
But who can do it better? Who does it better? Samus or Mega Man? Oh, Shasta not getting the optimal box fight there, but it looks like he does recover.
I don't know, Ross. I feel like Mega Man just kind of disqualified by virtue of the fact that he has a sometimes hand.
Sometimes hand.
So he has 1.5 hands.
My knowledge of Mega Man lore is too limited to weigh in on this.
Alright. And with that, I will leave you guys with 2 very, very good commentators. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for holding down the fort, Ross.
No problem. I will catch you guys later.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
Alright, looks like they're both still pretty darn close. They're in data rooms. They're not the same data room, but honestly, all Shasta has to do is go up an elevator, across, down an elevator, and he's right where Mickey is, so... This is still not as... This race is closer than it looks. Especially considering how early on it still is.
I always say this every time I talk about having leads in early game. Really, an early game lead doesn't mean anything until you're like 40 minutes in or so. Because before that point, you still have a lot of RNG and things to worry about. They can easily like tilt things in one way or another.
Yeah. Fusion is especially this category, can be very volatile. I mean, we've seen folks have commanding leads and then have catastrophic deaths, or suddenly just something goes wrong and they have to do a whole bunch of backup strats and suddenly they just lose 30 seconds or more. So anything can happen in this game. This category is definitely one of the more interesting to watch for a variety of reasons.
I mean, not to mention, with it, like with any speed game, the higher level you are, the riskier strats you're going to end up doing. And whenever you're playing against a higher tier opponent, you have to start going for those strats to take home the win. But it also puts you more at risk of some of those catastrophic failures occurring.
Yeah. You have to actually start weighing the few frames or a couple seconds lost from a safety strat, because that could be the difference.
Now, I would say Mickey and Shasta are both like at least within that range of each other, to where they can't really. They have to use some more. They have to use some of their strats that they would use at high level runs.
Yeah, like we're not gonna see any goofball things. We're not gonna see any silly stuff. These guys are gonna be playing as best they can. And Mickey first to face off against the Giant Core X here. See if we can get the 4-hit. Looks good so far. Nice. A little bit low, though. He doesn't quite get the setup for that first double missile. Actually, he seems to be having a trouble with double missiles in general here. Okay, there, he gets one. One more missile will finish the fight. Unfortunately, Mickey is now the first one to make all our eyes hurt with the Various Suit, because Fusion Various Suit is worst Various Suit. Fight me IRL.
I don't think you're going to have any takers for that.
I sure hope not. I don't actually like fighting. Mickey making pretty good movement through Sector 6, though, here. Having some trouble with those puffers, but still making it out all right.
Yeah, he had like a weird pattern there where it wasn't a good one, but he kind of damage boosted through it, and it worked out.
Ooh, Shasta having an extra hit on the Giant Core X, but managing to get that first double slip. I think that second one was a double as well. He gets the triple double, very nice. Going to be gaining back quite a few seconds there on Mickey. And at this point, he needs to be making up all the time he can get.
It's definitely a deceptively difficult double, because, for one, the layout of the room makes it annoying to set doubles anyway, because you kind of have to stand in like a specific area to really get it. And that's also the only boss where you get doubles on with super missiles. So it's like that's the only time you actually use that timing.
Yeah. Oh, the fun of the way missiles work in this game. Just gotta learn multiple double timings, and Giant Core X just sits by itself. How insensitive.
It just reminds me of how sad it is we don't get to keep supers for very long.
Yeah. Super missiles are one of the most satisfying power-ups in this game. They explode so resoundingly, they shake everything. It's just so good, so useful. Instead, we spend most of the game with ice missiles, and then near the end with the diffusions, which just make double missiles an absolute nightmare.
Looks like both runners are kind of keeping the same distance from each other here. I think when they first entered Sector 6, we were in like a similar position where Mickey was doing the text box at the start of the sector, and Shasta was doing the text box leaving the sector.
Yep, seems that for every little bit that Shasta gains, Mickey does something that Mickey also gains a bit more time as well. So it seems that they're kind of staying about the same. But there's still plenty of things that can happen. There are a lot more eye doors, and there are a lot more bosses. Mickey opting for the safer strat in that big icy Sector 5 room. Makes it easier to deal with that waiver, but costs a little bit of time.
Yeah, one thing to note about Fusion is there are a lot of like little things you can do that can be very disastrous time losses if you're not careful. Like even in this sector, you can really mess yourself up by doing things in the wrong order.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely the truth. With a game as linear as this one, like past a certain point, all your time saves end up losing you more time than you gain. So I'm still not entirely sure where that plateau is, but all I know is that it definitely can be a nightmare in a race if things just kind of start snowballing.
Consistency is 100% king in Fusion.
Oh yeah. An excellent time save trick doesn't count for anything if you can't get it in a run. Which is why it feels like this Metroid game more than even any other ones that I've played at least, is one that rewards just doing runs. Like other Metroid games, you can practice segments, you can get your time down pretty quick, but Fusion, you really just gotta hammer out those runs, and you'll see the time just come off very slowly but surely.
There are definitely things you do want to work on individually, though. There are like a few spots in Fusion where I would say like the sax fight in particular and things like that, you definitely you can't really hash those out by trying to do runs over and over again, I don't think.
No, the sax fight definitely takes a little bit of just hit that last save point. But but they're still a ways off from that. Alright, Shasta now unlocking those yellow doors while Mickey is on his way out of the sector. Thankfully, not pulling any sort of secret key shenanigans, knowing exactly which visit he is on. Sector 5 is the only sector that they visit 3 times, so it's actually easier than you think to accidentally go on the wrong kind of autopilot. I'm pretty sure it's happened to most of us, if not all of us.
Everyone's got to pull a secret key at least once. It's just a fact of Fusion.
Yeah. Although Mickey has apparently done something bad because I'm seeing flashing red lights.
That's never a good thing.
Oh, definitely not. Mickey, what did you do? I can't tell because I can't read Japanese very well.
I was going to say, I'm even more confused now than I was before.
Nani?
There's a timer, so I guess he's got to do something within that time limit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like some sort of emergency. Oh, thank goodness we have chat to fill us in. It seems we have an emergency in Franker Z. Seems that something has gone wrong with the dog boiler, and we have to go down there and unbork it.
Oh no.
Shasta will be entering that section pretty soon, but all joking aside, Emergency is actually a pretty intense section, not just because of the flashing lights and the timer, but because the movement is actually pretty precise in a lot of spots. Usually messing up your movement means you fall into lava and lose a few seconds. And also, this is the last time missile management is actually a big deal, because the game is really proud of these ice missiles that it's given you and wants you to use them a lot. So both of them are going to have to make sure that they can keep those stretchies frozen, deal with enemies as they come, and have enough missiles left to do optimal movements in the last couple of rooms.
I think he's fine, but I always get nervous whenever I see a missile count that's around that little 10-digit area, around 10 or so.
Yeah, it looks like you should be fine here. Yeah, he's absolutely fine. Makes it through that big room with no trouble. Missiles to spare. He could use them to brush his teeth if he wanted. Oh, unfortunately, the side hopper doesn't take the hop. Having to take backup strats and just getting hugged by the other side hoppers. Get out of here, side hopper. We're trying to open the door now.
Yeah, side hopper is definitely not cooperating very well there. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong when he first went to that room, because it looked like he did it right.
Well, it's one of those things where that side hopper will jump 9 times out of 10, but sometimes it just doesn't.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know how it is. Enemy movements are consistent until they're not. But still, pulling off a 4:26 emergency time, which is a solid time. Anything in the 4:20s is a good time. Anything in the 4:30s is an excellent time. Haven't seen too many 4:30s in this tournament so far, but anything in the mid to high 4:20s is something you can be proud of. Shasta looks like he's doing pretty well on missiles as well. Shouldn't have any trouble once he starts tinking a bunch.
And a little bit of a high five there.
Yeah, I always get a little bit of a clench a little bit during that bottom stretch in this big room, because if you misfire that missile and hit the block will break, which usually means you're going to take a tumble into the lava and waste the better part of 10 seconds. There we go. Shasta getting that good side hopper placement and 0 beams. 4 seconds faster into the door. Tinks the first double. The second one looked good, so... Alright. Still pulling it off. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a 4:28. Still a very solid time. Not quite in the 4:30s. But again, gaining a little bit of time on Mickey there.
Yeah, it seemed like those mishaps that Mickey had at the end were the main things that put Shasta's emergency a little bit ahead.
Yeah. But that's the thing about Fusion, though. Fusion is very much a game of little things. I mean, you're not going to have... Because, I mean, we're not allowed to do memory corruptions, so you're not going to have any massive skips or anything like that. It's just a matter of clean play and gaining back time in little ways. That's the key to success in this game. All y'all talking in chat like that side hopper not jumping is something incredibly rare. It's happened to me like 5 times before, so I don't want to hear it. Then again, I think my cartridge just hates me, so I probably shouldn't be counting it statistically. Ooh.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I had never seen that happen before until today.
It's like the side hoppers in Sector 3 before you go to the data room. They never jump, they told me, and then it immediately proceeded to jump while they were watching in my stream. So I mean, hey, Metroid Fusion just likes to mess with you sometimes. That's half the fun, being able to adapt.
There are definitely a lot of things I've had people tell me like similar things about something, and then it turns out, no, that doesn't. That does happen.
Yeah. But still, after all is said and done, we like this game, we keep running it, and that's why we're having this tournament. Alright. Mickey Mickey going for impossible strat, extreme version there. Pulling it off, looking really swanky in the process.
And gets a shine break, nice.
Yeah. The question is, are the animals going to cooperate and give him quick... no, I just saw 3 Etacoons just run right past that door, by which I mean 2. I'm really good at math. I'm an engineer, not a mathematician, alright? Still, that actually was not the worst animal RNG. It was decent.
Yeah, after you mentioned Etacoons, I was expecting that to be a little bit worse than what it was.
Yeah, thankfully they ran past the door well before it opened, so they were already probably running back by the time the door was open. Alright, Mickey heading back down to the sectors, but first, don't look at Mickey's stream for a bit because it's just going to hurt your eyes. I'll be curious to see what kind of strat Shasta uses in that room with the 2 stretchies. I don't think Shasta does impossible strat. He might just opt to do the classic wall jump with the jump extend. Yes, indeed. Oh no, he doesn't quite extend enough there. Manages to do a quick recovery, losing minimal time. That was a good save.
This is actually a really difficult jump extend to do.
Honestly, Ooh, he doesn't get the shine break. I will say, though, thankfully, Shasta does have a really good backup strat for this room. He talked about it a little bit in his last race. Orchie takes a bit of a fall, but he does hit those stretchies in short order. The trick of that jump extend, I find... Wait, whoa. Did you see those two Etakuns just jump out the door?
You're ready to leave.
Third one, not so much, though. I had to go to the bathroom first. No, that was what the one jump extend, though, in the stretchy room. I honestly find the problem more often than not is actually not jumping off the wall high enough. The problem is not so much the jump extend, it's just how high you wall jump. At least that's what fixed it for me when I was learning that strat. Alright, Mickey heading back down into Sector 5 while Shasta blinds us with his ugly suit. Let's see if Mickey can get the setup for the first of the two Sector 5 Shine Sparks here. Looks good. It's pretty tight, but he gets it.
Good thing about that Shrine Spark is it's an objectively harder version of the one they do later, so you can pull that one off consistently.
Yes, indeed. It's harder, and it actually saves less time than the other one does, too, because that's... Of course it does.
Well, we talked about that, there's that whole risk-reward thing whenever it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
You get to higher level fusion, the risk-reward definitely gets skewed a little bit less in your favor.
Absolutely. Alright, Mickey not opting to grab that red X. He's doing pretty well on missing some health, though, so I don't see a problem there. He should be in good shape to be able to run past this barrier here. Nice.
Looks like he didn't even need the red X for health anyway.
Yeah, he's picked up enough stuff along the way that he's actually doing all right. Doing all right. And we're getting a little bit of a high five in this door transition as Shasta gets the Shine Spark, but he's going to be a little bit lower, so he's going to have to actually do a climb up here. Alright, but with that, Mickey hopping on the elevator, getting out of Sector 5 while Shasta's getting the power bombs. The only thing powerful about them is the sound, let's be honest. I would actually legitimately be curious to see if someone compares the decibels, because I think this is maybe the third loudest sound in the game, but I don't know for sure. I'm just going based on what my ears tell me.
I would ask what's the first loudest, but I think we all know the answer to that.
Speaking of which, here's Mickey's meeting our frozen lizard friend. And he is tackling now one of the most dangerous corridors. Ooh, getting spat on once. Hopefully he can get through not getting spat on a second time, and he does.
Yeah, I was starting to get a little bit worried. Starting to get a little bit worried for him there for a second. Whenever.
Oh yeah, those spitters do like 80 damage, so you do not want to get hit by multiple ones of them. Is he going to take a safety save? He is not taking a safety save at the ship.
Yeah, and back on the point of spitters, like you always feel like once you get hit by one, you're gonna get hit by them all, it seems like.
Yeah, especially if it's an early one in that corridor, because once you get up to speed, you're speed boosting and then you're invincible, but...
I mean, he landed a charge shot at one point. Like if he had just been like a frame or something later, he probably would have whacked into an enemy and it would have been over.
Yeah, that would have been bad news. At that point, you would have been forced to use the power bomb and just get extra missiles, which is convenient for Notori, but it just loses time. He doesn't need
honestly,
him.
that's the optimistic result of that too.
Yeah, because we've seen the less pleasant result happen in this tournament, in fact. Alright, Mickey rapidly approaching Yakuza. Everyone's favorite. We're not entirely sure what kind of insect it's supposed to be, because it has 6 legs. Well, let's see how it goes. It's going to hope for 2 cycles in the first phase. And it looks like he's going to be doing good damage here. Let's see what color it is. It's brown. Time to go to town. Let's do it. Oh! And he opens his mouth immediately, having a very fast phase 1. Phase 2 is purely reactive. Let's see how it goes here. So far, I don't think he's missed a single missile in this phase. Very clean
good fight.
And he gets the first double, too.
Ah, doesn't quite get the second. It's a third, though, so he's got 2 doubles out of that. That's really good.
Yeah. And he gets the sweet spot. That is an excellent Yakuza fight from Mickey. He's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, Shasta's gonna have a bit of trouble beating that because he's gonna have to either time and doubles and get the same RNG, or he's gonna just to hope he can land all the doubles on that.
I guess we'll see what happens. Mickey did get, I think, 1 beam on the door.
Yeah, so there's a few ways Shasta can get a little bit ahead here, but it will definitely not be easy. And unfortunately, most of it is completely outside of his control.
Yeah. They're both playing well, undoubtedly. But the thing is, at this point, for Shasta to make the comeback, he needs Mickey to stop playing well. Especially now coming into the boss gauntlet, which they are in now. It's a sequence of bosses, just all right after the other, pretty close. It's easy to lose time on them, but it's going to take some serious time losses. Alright, Shasta looks like he did enough damage there. Let's see what color Yakuza is. Looks good. Oh no, he's getting those extra cycles. Oh no, Yakuza, please! Oh, he gets the 4-cycle Yakuza.
I feel like I jinxed him.
That's unfortunate. The worst possible RNG you can get on Yakuza Phase 1, and Shasta gets it. Also, takes a couple of missiles early on, but seems to be doing a lot better now. Oop. Phase 2 is actually harder than it looks. It's definitely one that you have to just practice a bunch of times. Meanwhile, Mickey seems to be doing pretty well on Notori here, just pumping missiles into it, but he's out of missiles, but he's at full health, so he just gets all greens all the time.
Yeah, that's ideally how the Netherite fight goes, is you dump all your missiles into him without taking damage, but unfortunately it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, very much so. It looks like Mickey got 1 double on the core, but he tinked the other one. So he's in pretty good shape out of there, and now has the plasma beam heading out of Sector 2, while Shasta is heading into Sector 2. Alright, just tackling that big sax chase that had everyone shaking in their shoes when they were younger. But no big deal right now. Alright, so Shasta a few rooms away from his own Notori fight, while Mickey is on his way to Sector 5. Because the time has come to face off against that boss. I didn't even have to say its name and it popped into your head, didn't it?
Can confirm. One thing Shasta does have going for him a little bit here, it's not a huge time save, but he does have more missiles than Mickey did. She's going to actually be able to land less charge shots than he needs to, or than Mickey did.
He is using a lot of extra charge shots, though, it seems.
Yeah.
And he's also at full health.
Yeah, I think he might have just opted to save a few missiles for the Lin fight here.
Yeah. Well, it turns out he's just going to have missiles for days here. Got that first double look like.
So I think it's, yeah. He probably would have been fine if he had opted to just use all of his missiles, but he gets a double. He gets both doubles, which is good. I don't believe Mickey managed to get both of those, so...
He did not. He missed one. Mickey, meanwhile, getting the most important Sector 5 Shine Spark, arguably the most important Shine Spark of the entire run, the Nightmare Shine Spark. Showing, making it look cool. Oh, I think Paulsmore is going to go home sad because I don't think either of them is going to be trying the Nightmare Space Boost. Mickey obviously didn't, and Shasta, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. Shasta having a really good Notori fight, though.
Yeah, Nightmare Space Boost is... Well, it's really, really hard, and the time saved isn't a lot, so... I don't know if we'll see anyone really go for it too much, except... I don't know, maybe I can see Paulsmore or Scotty going for it, but... I don't think we'll see too many people go for that, especially now, because you have a much bigger risk of being behind if you go for it.
Yeah, considering that we're in the final few matches now, it's a lot less likely we'll be seeing it. All right, Mickey getting through the first two phases of Nightmare very quickly, but now the third phase is by far the hardest. You gotta do the dance with the Nightmare. See if you can make it go where you want it to go, so you can set up those last few missile hits cleanly. Oh, it's kind of a little bit on the high side. Okay, Mickey gets it.
Yeah, I think the first time there, Mickey just jumped too high, and that's what messed it up.
Yeah, had to do an extra lap. Better do one extra lap than have it be in a really bad position, because then you're just going to waste a whole lot of time. Nightmare is definitely one of the fights that was annoying as a kid and also a little bit annoying to learn when you're first picking this game up because there really is no set-in-stone strat for dealing with this third phase. You just have to just kind of do the fight a bunch of times and oh, Shasta getting hit, having to do the backup strat for Nightmare Shine Spark here.
Yeah, thankfully there's a really easy backup here with just by storing that spark there and doing that. But yep. It is slower than getting the original strat.
Yeah.
Because you're basically sparking through one less room.
Yes, it's actually also pretty tricky because the distance you have to run to get the charge to build up is actually pretty close to the complete width of that floor space. So if you're a little bit behind on crouching, you're gonna have to do it again. That's happened to me more times than I care to admit. Or maybe it's easy and I'm just bad. Take your pick. Shasta on his way to the eye door. Mickey making his way through underwater sector 4. The quiet storm, if you will. It's very relaxing music. The aesthetic is very nice. This area will outright murder you because it's full of very high damage enemies. It's kind of funny considering they have the gravity suit now. Shasta doing that slow fall with the morph ball. Putting on a show for everybody. Thank you, Shasta. Physics in this game makes me laugh sometimes. Alright, very good phase 1 and 2.
Pressing yourself into a higher density object slows you down. Makes complete sense.
It's physics, probably. Oh. Shasta should be able to get a good angle here, and he gets it. A little bit on the high side, but oh no, it's just a little bit too high. He still manages to recover, though. Good save. Good save. The hitbox on Nightmare's face is a little bit weird sometimes. Oh, and he gets the first double. Gets the second double. He gets the triple double. Shasta is just nailing those doubles today. Gaining back some time there, because Mickey seems to be having... He's getting them, but he's not getting them as efficiently as Shasta, as it seems like. Oh! Mickey getting that extra shine spark, leaving underwater Sector 4, though. I don't know if it's actually faster, but it definitely looks cool.
I think it is a little bit, from what I've heard at least, it's a little bit slower than just shooting, just space jumping through the Kago. But it's probably one of those cases where it depends on how good your space jumping is too.
Yeah, and let's be honest, I don't think spending any sort of time getting good at space jumping in Fusion is a good use of time, because the space jump in this game is hot garbage. Considering how many other things were improved control-wise from Super Metroid and Fusion, how did they make the space jump worse? How?
I wouldn't say it's objectively worse. They did add respin.
That's not space jump, though. That's just jump.
Yeah, true. I mean, it does kind of have an impact on space jump, though.
Okay, I'll give you that. That aspect of it does make space jumping better, but actually chaining jumps in this game is a pain. Scotty making a very valid remark here that good space jumping is a nice time save. Absolutely true. I think it might have been the last tournament. I'm pretty sure we had two guys trying to go up through the same vertical climb with space jump. They entered the room at the same time, the other one left like a second earlier just because they had better space jumping.
Yeah, as much as we rag on it, you definitely want to get good at it because it can be a huge time save.
Meanwhile, Shasta, unfortunately, having a bit of a clingy sea pirate there, not letting him get away. Doing some serious damage there, actually. He's at less than half health right now. Still should be okay, because you do get to pick up a bunch of blue X's in Sector 6, but you don't want to be entering the next boss fight with low health. We've seen too many runners have a tragic fate dealing with it. Mickey grabbing all those blue X's, and now super healthy. Oh! Shasta having a fateful encounter with those little puffy, spiky dudes.
Yeah, one of the really good rewards of Aerosuit is actually being able to go in and get health back from the Ice X's, because they give you 30 instead of the regular 10 that you get.
Oh yeah. They're a little bit harder to get because they run away, but you can also freeze them by shooting them.
Honestly, I feel like they're easier to get just for that reason. Larger hitbox, and you can stop them from running away.
Alright, but Mickey facing off against the Xbox. That's right, even Microsoft has a stake in this race. Harder than the first box fight, this time its jumps can knock you down, but you have to be close enough for it to get you. But Mickey doesn't give me time to talk about it, 'cause he just takes care of it, no problem. And he has enough health now that even if he were to get hit by all 4 wave beams, he would still be okay. That said, the wave core has I think the wave core may have actually killed more people than the Xbox in this tournament so far. Can we confirm this next gen?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I would definitely say, like, the boss does most of the work. It's just the wave core just kind of finishes them off. It's like that teammate who, after you take down a guy and then you end up dying in the process, but the teammate goes in and finishes him off.
I suppose so, I suppose so. Or do you give the teammate the really big, powerful gun because you know you can do the job with everything else you got? That's kind of what the Xbox fight is like.
And just like how that usually goes, the Xbox or the player who didn't need the big gun in this case did not succeed.
Oh well, maybe next time. You know, Mickey is partied a little bit too hard and needs to get out of the forbidden sector here. Alright, Shasta. Alright, managing to grab some of those blue X's. Health's still probably a little bit lower than he'd like, although he should still be fine, assuming that the Xbox fight goes well for him. Meanwhile, why are puffers so awful? What did we ever do to them? Why is there no entry without authorization? Alright, Shasta, though, now facing off against Xbox himself. Let's see how it goes for him. Alright. Showing off that being right on the edge there, getting those diagonal shots and getting out of the way. Really fast fight from Shasta. Very nicely done. But he, on the other hand, does have to be careful about those wave beams, because his health is not in. Okay, he is in the clear now, but at the start of that he was not. You saw how much damage that one beam he did get hit by did. Wave beam is no joke.
Good timing for those pirate spawns there for Mickey.
Absolutely, that was what you want that room to look like. Mickey made it look easy. And now the final eye door. Let's see how many beams it gives him. 0! Mickey finishing off with no beams. And you can't hear it, but I assure you Ridley is happy to see you. His cries of joy echoing through the cosmos and through all of our souls. That was a very quick Ridley fight from Mickey.
60 seconds.
Let's see if he can get any doubles on that core. Ooh, he gets a double. That one was not a double. Still, a solid Ridley fight. It's true. Even you remember that Twitter meme which was like reblog if you can hear this image. The only one of those I reblogged was someone just posted a picture of the Ridley fight from Fusion because I saw it and I could immediately hear it.
I actually saw that one too.
All right, but next gen, you were saying that there's still a lot of things that there was a lot of time to make a comeback here, but unfortunately, I think comeback time is running out for Shasta here. Mickey's already on his way to the true final boss and then to face off against the Sax. What does Shasta have to do here if he wants to have a comeback?
To be completely honest, at this point, I hate to say it, but I do think he's going to have to rely on Mickey making some very not having his play deteriorate, because at this point, we're pretty much at the ending stretch, like you said.
Oof. Yeah, I think it would take a pretty drastic mistake, but we've seen stranger things happen, and I will say Mickey has been playing very well, but he's also running on 3 E-tanks, which is not a strat I'm terribly fond of, particularly in races. Well, but then again, this is me talking from my experience, and Mickey is a much better player than I am.
I think it boils down to it too, like a lot of racers, when they go into a tournament race, they just kind of go into it with the perspective of, oh, I'm just doing a run. Only I'm not allowed to reset.
Right.
And that's why I think you see a lot of runners. And like I said before, Mickey and Shasta are both fairly close to their PBs.
Yeah.
So he knows it's not like someone who you can just go in and stop to make pizza for 5 minutes and still take the win.
Hey, you don't have time. You don't have time to wait those 3 minutes for your instant ramen. You just gotta play. You gotta play well. And Shasta having a fast Ridley fight as well. Very nice. He tried to go for the top down double.
Yeah, usually you pretty much have to go for that if Ridley's like killed really low, like what happened on Shasta's screen.
Yeah, and oh, he gets a sweet spot though. But let's be fair, those doubles are hard enough to get normally. Getting them from the top down is just... If you can get them, I will literally drop what I'm doing and start applauding, because that's impressive.
Yeah, really, it's really like anytime you see it, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, and Shasta pulling off my favorite strat in that room, the reverse pacifist.
Those poor rippers.
Well, you know, I mean, it's fine. Sam's just making sure they just, that's that, they're done for, instead of having to deal with whatever the heck happens later. Spoiler alert.
I mean, in the end, if you leave the room and come back, they're there again. So did Samus really do anything?
I mean, yes, it's the X's fault for just being insensitive. Or, like, I suppose if you really want to go, like, space brain here, what it actually is that they were dead to begin with. Those are just X reproductions of the Rippers that used to exist there. So...
That's a fair point.
We've gone full nihilist here. That's right. Metroid Fusion Any Percent tournament on Speed Gaming, the only tournament where you also get your daily fill of Metroid lore that you did not want to know about. But I've been talking way too much. Next gen, I will let you handle talking about the sax fight while I have a few sips of my coffee, because Mickey is about to do that.
Alright, so if this fight goes perfectly well, the very first phase will go really quickly here. Mickey, ooh. Okay, still goes for a backup there, that's good. This is ideally how the fight's supposed to go, is that you can stun lock the boss and just immediately enter second phase. Mickey did have a bit of trouble with starting an Ice Beam, so he had to do a little bit of backup there, but luckily, because of the way the fight works, it's really easy to get backup strat there, and of course, second phase of the fight's also really easy, just takes 2 shots. And the last phase of the fight here, Mickey will want to be a little bit careful, because similarly to how dangerous the Wave Beam is, whoa, Mickey getting the triple double there.
Doubles.
But that fight at the very end can be very dangerous, because Ice Beam does a ton of damage similar to Wave Beam. But Mickey just doesn't care and decides to get a triple double instead.
Don't have to worry about dying to Ice Core if you just get triple doubles.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So at this point, he's pretty much just got to get through Omega, and he's got this.
Yep.
Now the Omega fight is similar to how that first phase of the Sax fight works, in that he's ideally going to stun lock it. And there's 2 different ways to do it, and I think Mickey does the diagonal strat. Don't quote me on that. But we'll see how Mickey does the fight here, and if everything goes right, he'll stun lock the Sack, he'll stun lock the Omega Metroid here, and it'll be game over.
Yep, he's very close to the end here, and Shasta's actually not that far behind him. He's on his way to the Sax fight as well now. Thankfully, the Omega does 1 E-tank of damage per swipe once Mickey gets the final upgrade, so he can actually afford to take 3 hits before he's actually in trouble. Actually, no, I can't math. He can afford to take 4 hits before he's in trouble.
Although, thing to worry about there is that the Omega Metroid, I keep wanting to call it the Sax, the Omega Metroid can actually do a double swipe if he catches you in the right spot, so looks like Mickey gets a stun lock, so you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, diagonal strat's a little bit slower than the vertical one, but the visual cue is a lot easier.
Alright,
with that-
so that is it. Mickey will be taking home the win here.
Just have to wait for the beam to catch him, and with that, Mickey is done with an official SRL time of 1:14:31. Shasta, actually, one of the few folks who does the horizontal strat. I don't see too many people do horizontal. Most folks will opt to do the diagonal. It's a little bit faster. Cuts down the number of shots you have to take. Because geometry. And they said mathematics wouldn't help you after high school. Ha! Oh, he unfortunately tinks the first double. And the second double. And the third. Oh goodness, we're having a little bit of a reversal here. Shasta was just nailing those doubles, but just having a little bit of trouble with the ice.
Yeah, ice core doubles are incredibly difficult because you have to, for one, most of the doors, most of the things you're doing doubles on, as long as you hit them with 2 missiles anywhere, you're pretty safe. But with those with the eye cores that shoot at you, you usually only have that one spot on them you can hit them on. So that alone makes it harder. And then by this point, the timing on the fusion missiles is really, really tight for doubles already. So
yeah, there's so many things you have to keep your eye on. Like you have to aim down, but you can't shoot too quickly. You have to give it a second of falling, and then you have to do it. And you have to hit the second one right before you run into it. And it's once you learn them, ice core doubles can be easier than the Ridley doubles, but still, they're not easy. Alright, Shasta on his way out. Let's see if he can get himself a low height Shine Spark. This is probably the most this is the most challenging low height Shine Spark in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, doesn't quite get it though. Alright, is Shasta gonna go for the pogo? I thought I might try to grace us with the glory that is Omega Pogo.
To destination.
And Shasta looks like he's a little bit too far forward there, actually. So that's alright. Oh! I hear a voice. That voice is... It's Shasta!
Hi.
And Mickey is here now, too!
Mickey, now!
Now! GG to both of you. That was a good race.
GG.
Thank you. Good job, Shasta.
Thank you. Seems like you had one hell of a run yourself.
Yeah, it was really, really good, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah. Mine was okay, personally. Just okay. I like a No, go for it.
No, go right ahead.
I was gonna say I had like a kind of a bad beginning in this run. I brought it back slowly but surely, but that nightmare destroyed me, and at that point I was kind of out of it. I figured I'd be out of it after nightmare gave me 4 rounds.
That sucks.
Oh yeah, it was really bad.
Okay, the Yakuza really had us just kind of not actually screaming, but yeah, because Mickey got a nearly perfect Yakuza fight, and Shasta got the 4 cycle, and it's just like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
That's
I figured for a while I was kind of close, and then that Yakuza happened, and it was just awful. Oh, that's 46.
Oh dang,
Yeah.
Mickey
Yo,
getting the race 46. That is no small feat.
that's really impressive.
I got +4 on my splits.
Only plus like seconds?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
I was plus 54? Okay.
Started the run with a +17 on bombs. Morph ball, I mean.
Oh, nice. I was plus 2. I had 444 there. And a good start in the PV. Damn, dude, what a run from you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why you're #1 seed in this tournament, after all.
Absolutely true.
But yeah, I don't have much to say, personally, so best of luck next round to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
It was a fun tournament for me. I'm surprised I got 5th place. Honestly, like, to be completely honest, I was pretty much on borrowed time ever since I got lucky against Monkey, where he died in his race. Because he should have beat me by a lot. He was on 46th place, I'm pretty sure, until he died. So I was kind of on borrowed time, but I will take 5th gladly for sure.
Congrats on 5th place.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congrats, Shasta.
I think I got that last year too in tournaments, 5th place. If I remember correctly. I think I lost his Curry Master in losers. But yeah, that was really good. I'm happy with my placement. Not so much my runs though. Not so much of my runs at all. No. But yeah.
Hey, you know, you played as well as you had to do to get as far as you did. There's no shame in making it as far as you did at all.
Oh, definitely. Thank you. I will say though, I'm more consistent than anything else. Like, I'm consistently getting 48s and 49s, and this should be like a 49 here, for instance. Yeah, it was. And that's a good thing. Compared to other runners who, like, I guess, like, aren't as consistent. That's still pretty good.
I feel attacked. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm messing. No, but just have to wonder though, what's up for you next then? Now that your time in the tournament's over, what you got coming up? What you working on?
I'm working on Nightmare Dreamland right now, and also as of today, the Metroid Samus Returns World Darker got being on 0% fusion mode, so I'm working on that as well too. I'm like learning the new strats and just applying it to my own run so I can run that in SGDQ.
Oh dang!
Yeah, there's a lot of new outbounds. Let's just say that.
Oh.
Yeah. Not to mention as well too, I'm still in Nightmare and Dreamland tournaments, and I'm excited for that too because I'm seed #2 in that tournament, and Halo is #1, is World Darker in the category. But recently, MK Cocoon made a document of all the summon best for every single like top runner of the game, and actually the best summon best apparently I have all of them. But it also gives me a lot to work on too. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really excited to just learn more strats and just do better in that game too.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yep.
I actually managed to catch a 1 or 2. I think I caught your last race in that tournament. It's actually pretty good. Actually, a pretty good watch.
Thank you. It's a really good run, honestly. I'm like, it's good. If you ever catch that tournament like on any SP gaming channels, definitely like just sit down and watch it if you can. It's a super good run, and it's just super fun, really, in general.
Those early game mixes though can definitely be a bit dicey.
There's like 3 required in the run to go fast. They can be very hairy if you miss them. Hell, one of them honestly is faster if you actually like if you miss it. It's faster just like to kill yourself and just try again that mix. That's the one in 7-1 for reference. That one is really crucial. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Kirby is cute.
Kirby shaped like a friend.
Exactly.
And Mickey, you move on to face C. Scotty W in losers finals here.
Ooh,
How do you
let's
feel
go.
about that?
I don't know. Kinda a bit, dare I say, scared.
That's gonna be a really good race.
It's going to
Yeah.
be an excellent race, yeah.
He's been doing really, really good so far, so kinda afraid of losing. But I'm gonna get some practice in before our match and to try to make it as close as possible.
Dude, you got this, don't worry.
I'm just hoping he doesn't get a casual 45 in the race.
Oh wow. Yeah, that'd be awful.
Well, it's fine. Just rib him until he just agrees to go Japanese version. It's fine.
Yeah, the trick is to race Japanese. Like, I'm gonna pretend I lost my English card somewhere.
He'll never know. It's not like he's in chat right now listening to us talk about this.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sure.
No, but that's. I'll definitely looking forward to that race. Hope that practice goes well for you. And everyone out there, if you haven't already followed these two, Mr. Shasta and Mickeynow, do so. They both are very good at what they do.
Mickey, now!
Now.
Always.
I can't resist that every time, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I still feel a golden opportunity was missed by not actually just capitalizing the now.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it just for that reason. People still do it anyways.
I think that was. Think you were predestined to lose that battle before you even made the name change.
Exactly. Mickey, wow.
That's what I say when I see myself in the mirror every morning.
Ooh.
On the plus side, you pretty much have any of your future emotes all figured out because they just kind of write themselves.
Mickey N, Mickey O, Mickey W.
There you go.
Damn.
Sorry.
That's an idea.
I'm ready for Mickey Cow as well.
I don't even want to see that emote.
On the flip side, Mickey Sow.
Oh no.
Literally the same
No.
thing.
Oh God.
I thought the cow was bad, but sow is much worse.
Yeah.
We're getting Mickey Howe here, guys.
Oh God. We have lost control of this conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Alright, so thanks for the race. That was a lot of fun.
My pleasure. Congrats again at 46. That's no small feat in the race.
Thanks.
And good looking at Sky as well. That's gonna be a really good race as well.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh man.
Oh,
I saw that Rosu commentated the first 30 minutes of the match.
Yes,
I'm guessing he had to go.
he did.
Did he though? I saw him shitposting in chat the whole time.
Mobile man.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't mean to call you out like that.
I mean, he's doing it right now. I mean, it's not like he's still with us, even if he's not in this channel.
That's true. You're right.
I'm trying to think. Do we have any of the other future races scheduled yet?
There
don't
is
think
one
so.
race,
Oh.
and it is Saturday. It's going to be Paulsmore versus Rasu
Ooh, winners finals.
Winners finals.
at 3 p.m. EDT.
That is
That's-
going to be a really close match.
Oh, yes, it is. Ross has been grinding this game out hard lately. And Paulsmore is just Paulsmore. I mean, what can we say?
No matter how that match goes, someone's going to be trash talking someone at the end of it.
And during it, and before it.
Yeah, all the above, really.
If you want to see both runners talking trash to each other in the chat during the race, by all means, come watch that race.
It's gonna be good.
We just got nothing but great races coming up in this tournament.
That's a good thing about Fusion. There's a lot of downtime in the run outside of just the map execution and stuff you have to do. So you can actually just shit talk each other and chat the whole time if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's one of the upsides to having all those word bits.
Oh yeah, and also just like the elevators. That's where I usually just talk and chat.
Mhm.
Especially that main deck one. Oh my goodness, it's like 3 screens.
I'm imagining Rasu and Rasu and Paulsmore both having 3 monitors and 3 keyboards, multiple controllers, just so they can play the game and watch the other stream at the same time, while also being able to type with one hand.
Or having a foot keyboard or something. He's just an
damn.
expert at that.
That's next level right there.
That's next gen right there. Sorry.
Talking crap in the year 3000 with triple keyboards and foot keyboards? Oh, hell.
So outside of that, I think we're pretty much done here. Again, congratulations both you guys for giving us a great race.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think on the speed gaming run, we have Shantae right after this.
Yo.
In about half an hour or so.
Pirates was
Nice.
such a good run.
And then looks like Speed Gaming 2 has a Link to the Past randomizer about to start as well. And there's actually going to be 2 Link to the Past randomizers as well. There's one on Speed Gaming 3 and Speed Gaming 5. So we actually have 3 Link to the Past randomizers going on right now, or about to start. And then on Speed Gaming 4, there is a Diddy Kong Racing tournament match that's going to be starting in again about half an hour or so from now.
And it's
So-
worth mentioning, since we had talked about it, tomorrow morning at, looks like at 10, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland tournament is going on. So if you were interested in that one but didn't know when it was going to happen next, there you go.
Kirby is cute.
Can't argue with that.
Exactly.
I think that's a great note to leave you guys on. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching, and I think we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.